Have you ever had someone in your life who you couldn't help but want to be a little bit more like? Be honest, we all do. My best friend, Beth, is that person for me. She truly has it all. A happy-go-lucky attitude, the most contagious energy, and she's pretty much the life of any party. Despite 70 years between us, she's my rock, my confidant, and my go-to girl. I've learned so much from her, but perhaps one of the most profound things she's ever said to me was this: no one teaches you how to get old. The Population Reference Bureau reports that we are faced with a rapidly changing demographic. The number of Americans aged 65 and older is projected to double by the year 2060, and this will only continue to grow. With life expectancy increasing, elder poverty rates dropping, and science improving, soon 1 out of 5 Americans will be age 65 and older. This is not a phenomena unique to the US population landscape either. Change is happening on a global scale. Between the years 2015 and 2050, globally, the average life expectancy will climb 8 years, and the number of oldest old, or those age 80 and older, will triple. The question is, what are we doing and how are we addressing these changes? Now, you might be wondering what a 25-year-old woman like myself knows about getting older. My name is Victoria Kozar, a first-year medical student at University of Connecticut School of Medicine with a passion for geriatrics and advocacy. I recently founded a geriatric society chapter here at UConn while advocating for older adults with the Alzheimer's Association. But most notably, I took part in the ultimate intergenerational experience. My senior year of college, I took part in the Student in Residence program, one of the first of its kind in the nation. For a full year, I moved into Masonic Care's assisted living community among individuals who were 4 to 5 times my age. Coming in, I was so worried about what my new neighbors would think, having a young person living in their midst, because to be honest, kids these days aren't always painted in the most flattering light. To my surprise, I was quickly welcomed and integrated into the community. My neighbors took me under their wings, and my routine became their routine. We ate our meals together, participated in the same daily activities, and I heard about their wants and needs. I spent my days exposed to lives I thought would be so different from my own, and I quickly found that that wasn't necessarily the case. My experience made me come face to face with misconceptions I didn't know I held about aging, subconscious assumptions that were immediately challenged. I was surrounded by individuals who had just picked up a new skill or hobby, found love, and celebrated every moment. My neighbors truly were so inspiring. One gentleman continued swimming miles every week into his 70s. Another woman excitedly set up the iPad she got for her birthday. And one neighbor claimed she'd be young forever as she danced around every room she entered. This wasn't what aging was supposed to look like. There was so much fullness in the lives around me, something I never could have learned in any classroom or book. Most importantly, I developed friendships I never thought would be possible. Friendships that still exist years later. My new friends and I had far more in common than we ever could have imagined. We bonded over mutual interests, daily frustrations and insecurities, talking about everything from life to loss, and learning to laugh at oneself. Our relationships were not like that of a grandparent and a grandchild, rather of genuine and sincere friends. You'd be surprised to hear that I actually met my friend Beth at a happy hour social, bonding over our love of good food and drinks and handsome men, but it only grew from there. I've learned so much from her and gained a deeper appreciation and respect from growing up in a time different than what I know. She tells me that I keep her with the times and have her moving, and that we're more like sisters, never having to sugarcoat things with each other. Beth has taught me to slow down, to appreciate the journey as much as the destination, and even to look forward to growing old and seeing all that comes from living a long, good life. The friendship we share is a dynamic and mutually beneficial one, and one that I wish to share with others. But there is a challenge that we must overcome. Let me ask you, what's your biggest fear? Heights? Snakes? Financial instability? perhaps even public speaking like myself. How about this? Getting older. 87% of Americans have a fear of getting old, whether it be loss of physical ability, cognitive decline, chronic illness, or dying. Aging is an unknown. It's an uncertainty we all will be faced with, surrounded by a negative connotation. The problem is, this isn't a fear we keep to ourselves. It's one that we project outwards as well. With this fear, ageism has become not only the most widely experienced form of discrimination, but according to the World Health Organization, it has become the most socially normalized prejudice. This is a huge problem, leading to the marginalization of older people. We see this on social media. With over 4.2 million tweets about getting older, over 2/3 of them were negative. And in the workplace, with 64% of older workers personally experiencing or seeing others fall victim of ageism, making it clear how poorly our aging and elderly are being regarded. Ageism and stereotypes about aging are around us every day, even if we aren't entirely aware of it, and it can appear harmless. A parent may dress their child up for Halloween as a grumpy old man or a crazy cat lady, or something might be forgotten at work, and a coworker states with a laugh, "Oh geez, must be my dementia acting up again." Aging has become synonymous with stagnation and debilitation, and this is deeply ingrained in the very fabric of our society. But what dictates what one can do in their 60s, 70s, 80s, or even 90s, or what these ages look like? Aging can't be a topic that is pushed off to deal with later, or something we live in denial of. It's happening to all of us, and is a fear that needs to be faced. We need to reframe how we view aging and begin to embrace it together. How might we do that? Intergenerational experiences and relationships are a crucial first step to challenge these stereotypes and begin to bridge the generational gap. Intergenerational relationships have arisen recently as a hot topic, but are nothing new. There are daycare centers set up in nursing homes, organizations like Generations United, pairing youth and older people together in local programming, and initiatives like Old Friends and New, pairing graduate students with the elderly to abolish stereotypes held by young and old alike and cultivate friendships. Research has proven that intergenerational relationships are invaluable to all who partake. Activities that give older people a sense of purpose has been shown to prevent isolation and loneliness, and even to slow cognitive decline. Children and young adults who are involved in intergenerational experiences are not only less ageist, but better adjusted and have a more positive outlook on aging. Best of all, the World Health Organization has found that those who have a more positive outlook on aging can expect a 7.5-year increase in their own life expectancy. And who doesn't like the sound of that? Some of my fondest memories from college were the weekends that my school friends came to hang out in the neighborhood, the sound of laughter over a game of bingo, enjoying a favorite family recipe we made together, sharing music from our childhoods. I remember one neighbor in particular saying, "I don't remember there was this much life in a room." And my friends asked if they could do this every weekend. I saw from my experiences how intergenerational relationships can be transformative, strengthening communities and bringing people together, with the potential to change how we, as a society, treat aging. In a world that's continually expanding and globalizing, it's important now more than ever to stay connected with people of all ages. Programs that propagate these relationships are so important, and together we can be at the forefront. So let's lead by example and make time for the older people in our lives, whether it be a family member, a neighbor, or the person who strikes up a conversation with you at the grocery store next week, and encourage others to follow suit. Getting older is inevitable, so we might as well enjoy the ride. By opening our minds and reframing how we view aging, we can learn today to live a better tomorrow for ourselves, for our children, and ultimately the future. No one might teach you how to get old, but who says we have to? Thank you so much.